Hi, and welcome to the Daily Windups afternoon update. Today we have Tropical Storm Isaac making its way to a landfall in Louisiana. This, in the last several hours, has really started to tighten up. You can see on the top here where the eye is attempting to appear. This is now moving northwestward. And the models are in fairly good agreement on bringing it into somewhere along the east to middle Louisiana. Here is the Doppler radar out of Mobile, Alabama. And you can just now start to see the feeder bands. The actual storm is way down south here. You can't see the storm on the radar, but here's the start of the feeder bands coming in. Here's a much closer view of Tropical Storm Isaac. And the intensity is still at 55 knots. However, I would not be surprised to see it come up either at the 4 p.m. advisory or the 7 p.m. advisory. As it's tracking right now, it's going to come close to New Orleans or just south of New Orleans. And here is a closer view without animation. And the reason I wanted to show this was this shows the wind barbs. And there are 35 to 45 knot winds already along the Florida to Louisiana coastline. This cone of uncertainty that I sort of drew here, that's where the main model consensus are for this afternoon. And I'll show that in just a few minutes. Here is the cone of uncertainty. And of note is the ECMWF has shifted to just about on top of New Orleans. And the GFS continues to show a storm moving, or a hurricane moving into eastern Texas. This is the size estimate as of 12Z for Tropical Storm Isaac. The initial was forced at 55 knots. The numbers haven't changed that much. We still expect it to get to about an 80 knot hurricane. And the way it's wrapping up right now, it still has a chance to do that. The chances are less of becoming that strong, but it's still possible, still in the realm of possibilities. Now here we have the consensus models. The GFDL was much further south on the last run. It's come north. The ECMWF, which isn't shown on here, has come to about New Orleans. And these gray lines, these are the GFS ensemble members, and they have pretty much settled on the middle Louisiana coast. Now here's the GFS for 48 hours out. And as you can see, this trough is lifting out, and this, at least on the GFS, it shows a high pressure building in. And the soundings, the Hurricane Center noted this in their last discussion, the soundings do indicate that a high pressure is building north of the storm. So it is still possible that the storm takes a track into eastern Texas. And here's 72 hours out, the GFS, the high pressure to the north. The storm or depression now in the middle Louisiana area to the east coast of Texas. I mean the eastern border of Texas, and it moves north from here. Now here is the 12Z ECMWF for 24 hours out. This is for tomorrow. And if you see here on your right hand screen, right top hand of the screen, you see this low pressure and the circles around it. That is where the storm, hurricane, whatever it will be, is moving close to New Orleans, Louisiana. On the 500 millibar heights, you can also see here on the left, the top left hand side, the heights have built over the storm. And the Euro is starting to pick up on this, of taking it further westward. I'm feeling more confident now that it's going to go um, into the middle Louisiana coast and then turn north. But there, with this high, it's still possible that it takes more of a westward track. And here is the ECMWF for Wednesday, 48 hours out. As you can see, it hasn't really moved that much. This is two full days out, and it's still right on top of New Orleans. This storm is going to slow down big time, and they are going to get drenched. There's going to be a lot of flooding in these areas. You know, hopefully everybody has their plan in place and they're listening to their emergency managers. We'll continue to monitor. If there are any changes, I'll have another video update or a blog entry. Be safe out there. For the Daily Windup, I'm Donald Flowers.